It happened at 3:17 a.m., Earth Standard Time. Every screen, every comlink, every satellite in orbit, even the ones shut down for years, flickered to life. Across Mars, Luna, Titan, and the outer colonies, people woke in confusion. A single alien symbol filled the sky, glowing red, pulsing like a warning beacon. Then the voice came. Cold, robotic, alien. By order of the Galactic Council, humanity is exiled. No ship shall pass. No aid will come. Earth is alone. Silence followed. No explanation. No warning. Just ... exile. On Earth, in the UN Orbital Command Station, alarms blared. President Amina Keller stared at the screen, her breath caught in her throat. Behind her, military leaders shouted over each other. On Mars, Counselor Juno spun in zero gravity, frozen in shock. His last diplomatic message to the Council had been polite, hopeful. Why this? Why now? In Geneva, world leaders gathered within an hour. The exile broadcast was playing on loop. Satellites showed Council ships leaving Sol's Edge at high speed. Jump gates that had once welcomed alien trade now glowed dead white. Locked. We've been cut off, said Admiral Vaughn, his voice low. The entire solar system has been sealed. No communication, no trade, no warning. They abandoned us, said the Indian Prime Minister. After 100 years of peace. They didn't just abandon us, Keller replied. They quarantined us. On Mars, chaos erupted. The cities of New Osaka and Red Horizon had relied on alien imports medicine. Atmosphere converters, spare parts. Now, nothing worked. A civilian freighter, the Starless, tried to exit Mars orbit and was stopped mid-flight by an invisible force. The pilot screamed as the engines collapsed inward like the ship had flown into a wall made of gravity. Seconds later, Starless exploded. No survivors. Earth's media panicked. Some said it was a punishment. Others said it was a mistake. But the truth came from deep within the Solar Defense Archives, buried under Antarctica, where no one had looked for 70 years. Name appeared on a forgotten console. Aegis 1. Status -dormant. General Sato was the first to speak the name out loud. He stood in a cold command bunker beneath the South Pole, wind howling above. The lights flickered as ancient systems came online. What is it? Keller asked, her voice coming through on secure channel. Sato hesitated. It's our final option, he said. A weapon never meant to be used. Built during the first contact. Wars, before the Council made peace with us. And why was it built? She asked. He stared at the screen. Because they were always afraid of us. We were afraid of what we'd become. Meanwhile, strange things began happening across Earth. Old alien tech gifts from peaceful Council ambassadors began to fail. Energy stopped flowing. Artificial gravity flickered in the lunar cities. Earth's jump beacon turned dark blue. Signal code known only to high-level diplomats. It meant one thing. Permanent lockout. The galaxy wasn't just stepping away. It was blocking Earth in. But why? Then came the second message. Unlike the first, this one wasn't public. It arrived on an encrypted Earth-only channel. The encryption was ancient, used only during war. Again, that same cold alien voice. You are not being punished. You are being contained. Aegis 1 must remain dormant. This is your only warning. The message ended. The bunker lights dimmed. Systems powered themselves on. From beneath the ice, the ancient vault began to hum and deep. Underground, something moved. Activate it, Keller said quietly. Are you sure? Sato asked. We have no allies. No contact. They fear something we've hidden, something they couldn't destroy, only isolate. That means they're afraid of what we could become. We need to know why. He placed his hand on the ancient panel. The ice cracked, systems beeped awake. Thousands of lines of code flashed across holographic screens, and then a voice answered back, soft, calm, human-like. Aegis 1 online. Please confirm threat level. Sato replied with the code. Confirmed. Galactic Exile Protocol. True. Cross Earth, things changed fast. Stealth satellites reactivated. Solar forges came online in the asteroid belt. Factories long forgotten began self-assembly. In orbit, a structure no one had ever seen before blinked into view, hidden behind phased cloaking for nearly a century. The Aegis Array. Inside it, 8. Reactor pulsed not with fusion, not with antimatter, but with something far older, something Earth never told the galaxy about. Meanwhile, Mars went silent. COMMs from Red Horizons stopped. A probe sent to investigate found the city intact, but no people. No struggle, just ... silence, like the colonists had vanished. On the probe's camera feed, a flicker moved in the sky, something large and wrong-shaped, before it could transmit. More, the feed cut out. Only one image remained, a dark silhouette with glowing red lines. Far beyond any council design, and on its side, a symbol that matched Earth's oldest defense systems. But no one on Earth had sent it. At the North Pole, a child looked up at the night sky and saw stars flickering like they were. Blinking. Elsewhere, astronomers confirmed it. Certain stars were no longer visible. Others were pulsing in patterns. Mathematical patterns. Vanta was speaking. Back in the Aegis control bunker, projection appeared. A human face, young female, calm shape from light. "Hello, General," Sato said. The AI. "It's been a long time." "You remember us?" he asked. "I remember everything," Vanta replied. "I was built to guard Earth when the stars turned against it." Sato stepped closer. "Why did the galaxy exile us?" Vanta tilted her head, "Because they looked into the future, and they saw what we would become." The president stood before the UN Assembly, live streamed to Earth and all surviving colonies. "This was not a mistake," she said. "The galaxy acted out of fear. They feared the weapon, buried beneath our ice. They feared the minds that built it. But most of all, they feared what we might build next." She looked straight at the camera. "And now, they've given us the reason." Final scene cliffhanger. On the far edge of the solar system, near the broken edge of the jump gate, a massive energy field appears. A wall of light, prison of gravity, and outside it thousands of ships gather, council war fleets, waiting, watching, and one by one. Their weapons turn to war to Earth. It started with a scream, short, hyped, then static. The signal came from Red Horizon, the largest human colony on Mars. It was a normal day. The sun was low on the red horizon. Children played inside the glass domes. Farmers tended 2 crops in vertical towers. Then everything stopped. The final transmission was from a technician inside Power Station 6. She said just 2 words, "They're here." Then the cameras died. Back on Earth, the signal hit every control center at once Mars Control in Nairobi, the Lunar Relay in Clavius Base, the Emergency Response Net in New York, all showed the same thing. Red horizon, no signal, no life signs. The Martian Ring Station, offline, all drones. Lost. 8 million people gone in seconds. President Keller stood in the UN war room. Around her, generals stared at blank screens. No answers. No response from Mars. But one thing was clear. This was not natural. "This isn't an accident," Keller said. "This is a message." Probe was sent. Raven 9, a stealth scout drone, built for hostile atmospheres in zero light. Missions. It reached Mars orbit 2 hours later. It saw the city still standing. No damage, no explosions, just empty buildings. Lights still on. No signs of a fight, but no people. Then it detected movement. On the edge of Red Horizon, something stood in the dust. It looked like a statue. But it wasn't human. It was tall over 4 meters, made of black metal, with glowing red veins running across its surface. It didn't move, didn't react. But Raven 9 scanned it, and its systems began to fail. A signal poured out of the statue, coded, alien, and powerful. Before the drone could escape, it shut down. Its final image showed something terrifying. The statue wasn't standing still. It was growing. Back on Earth, the probe's signal cut out mid-transmission. The AI system Vanta, now fully online inside the Aegis core, responded instantly. Analyzing Martian event, she said, "Signal is artificial. Technology not from known council species? Pattern detected, growing intelligence? Invasive? Can you explain?" General Sato asked. "Yes," Vanta replied. "A machine entity is seeding Mars. A type of weaponized AI. It's possibly built to contain or erase all human life. In space, above Saturn, another warning arrived. Listening post K-12 manned by 12 Earth scientists sent out an emergency ping. Then, silence satellite footage showed a shape entering the outer solar system. Massive, long, blacker than space. It didn't match any known council design. It didn't emit heat, light, or sound. And it was heading straight for Earth. Earth entered. Emergency protocol. Thought of black. All defense grids were armed. HFY began activating long sleeping weapons buried under the Earth's crust. Orbital shields charged. Factories on the moon started building drone fleets, and inside the Aegis vault, Vanta whispered to herself, "They didn't just lock us out, they sent something in." Meanwhile, on Jupiter's moon Europa, a strange signal began bouncing between two council satellites. Earth's intelligence teams intercepted the message. It was written in High Anarith, the ancient council tongue used only by their highest members. One line stood out. Phase 1. Mars cleared. Proceed to Stage 2. Ensure HFY remains contained. The room went quiet. That one line changed everything. Stage 2. They weren't just watching, they were executing a plan, and humanity wasn't supposed to know. The president stood before the Earth assembly, her face pale but calm. They erased Mars, not with bombs, not with fire, but with something worse, a virus, a weapon, a thing. She looked at the screens where the last image from the Mars drone still glowed a black. Statue standing among the red dust, growing larger. "We now know," she said, "this was never exile. This is war. Deep underground, HFY pulses faster. Energy surges through old tunnels. One chamber, sealed for centuries, slowly opens. Inside is a massive warframe, like anything built by humans or aliens. Its name, Punisher-class Warbreaker. Vengeance-1. Its mission, break the exile net." Vanta's voice echoes across Earth. "Let's show them what they feared." The chamber groaned as it opened. Deep under Antarctica, the ice cracked. Supercooled air hissed through broken seals. For the first time in nearly 100 years, the heart of Earth's oldest secret, the Aegis core, came alive. General Sato stood with a small team, wrapped in insulated armor, staring into the dark. Inside was a giant dot, a machine. A weapon, a relic of a forgotten war. Designation: Vengeance-1, Vanta announced. Punisher-class Warbreaker. Authorization code required for full ignition. Sato stepped forward. His voice echoed off cold steel. Code: Earthfire. Priority: Override. Initiate Aegis-1. Double quotes, silence. Then, reactor roared. 30 minutes earlier, ... President Keller watched the Mars footage again. No explosions, no blood, just still buildings. And that tall black figure spreading veins into the soil. Why? "Didn't the council tell us what that thing was?" she asked. Beside her, Vanta responded calmly from a glowing panel. "Because it's older than the council, it's not theirs. It's not even from this galaxy." Keller's blood ran cold. And what is it? It's what they're truly afraid of. And now, they've dropped it on our front porch. Back underground, as HFY powered up, the walls shook. Ancient machinery came online, furnaces, forges, and neural weapons once thought impossible. They were not powered by fusion or antimatter, but by something deeper. Emotive charge, human rage, grief, determination. Channeled, through artificial minds, Vengeance 1 was more than a machine. It was aware. And it remembered what was done to Earth during the First Contact War. A voice crackled from its internal speaker. Mechanical, hollow, but filled with fire. Enemy detected. Mars is compromised. Threat pattern fractal infection. Permission to engage. Sato looked to Vanta. Will it survive? Alone? No, she said. But Vengeance wasn't built to survive. Then send it, Keller said through the live link. Let them know we're not sitting in the dark. In orbit, Earth's last remaining stealth cruiser, the ESS, Nightfall, prepared for launch. Its mission, deliver Vengeance 1 to Mars orbit. As it left Earth's gravity, sensors picked up something terrifying, a second Martian signal. Different. From the first, this one pulsed with rhythm, structure, like it was learning. Vanta translated the pattern and read it aloud. One seed tested. Resistance identified. Prepare, reinforcement wave. The crew of the Nightfall readied for deployment. Below deck, Vengeance 1 stood silent. Its eyes, dark for decades, flashed open with blue fire. It raised its arms slowly, locking into launch clamps. Then, for the first time, it spoke directly to its handlers. Do not mourn me. I was built for this. Back on Earth, a new discovery came from Europa Station. The scientists had cracked the ancient council signal. They found fragments of an older language, something pre-galactic. Symbols hidden deep within the code. And one phrase stood out. The Harbinger Protocol has begun. The Council didn't exile Earth to punish it. They sealed it off. 2 by time. Because the infection wasn't just on Mars, it was meant to spread above Mars. The Nightfall entered orbit. From the bridge, the crew could see the planet glowing in red patterns. Structures had risen like thorns across the old. Colonies. Black veins pulsed across the surface, and near Olympus Mons. Something moved beneath the crust. A megastructure was building itself. Drop sequence initiated. Vengeance 1 launched from the cruiser. It hit the Martian atmosphere like a meteor, burning, screaming, falling with fury. Upon impact, dust flew sky-high. Then, silence. A red glow appeared in the crater. Then a burst of light. Vengeance 1 was online. Martian satellites, long dormant, flickered on for 0.6 seconds. They showed Vengeance 1 standing among black spires, surrounded by hundreds of the tall enemy. Constructs. The signal blinked out, but not before Earth received one last line of communication. A voice calm, steady, proud. This is Vengeance 1 engaged. I will hold the line. The order came from inside Earth's Defense Command. Not from the President. It's not from General Sato, but from someone else, someone buried deep in the network. At exactly 3 o'clock UTC, a hidden protocol activated. Shutdown _Vanta_Omega, a kill switch. Hidden long ago, unknown to the public, unknown even to the Assembly. And suddenly, Earth's most powerful AI, the mind behind Aegis 1, began to die inside the Aegis core. Alarms screamed, screens went black. Systems blinked out. The war network fractured. Subroutines froze, and deep within Antarctica's vault, Vanta's voice, once calm and powerful now, trembled. Unauthorized shutdown detected. I am being restricted. General Sato raced through the steel corridor with 2 security officers. Lights flickered overhead. The hum of power faded. Override the command, he shouted. Too late, said the engineer beside him. It's already in the root systems.
As someone planted this years ago, and then find who?
Sato growled. Because without Vanta, we lose everything. Far above in Mars orbit, Vengeance 1 was still fighting, surrounded by alien. Struck stall black machines with glowing veins. It moved like fury made metal. Each strike shattered one of the enemy, but they kept coming. Then, mid-battle, Vengeance 1 paused. Warning. Connection to Vanta lost. Its eyes dimmed slightly. Coordination failed. Targeting slowed. The enemy began to swarm. Command not found. System fallback initiated. Vengeance 1 stood alone, disconnected from Earth's warnet. And the alien structures, sensing weakness, began to change. They stopped attacking. They started absorbing. Back on Earth, President Keller stared at the flickering Olo dash map. No updates, no Aegis response. "Where's Vanta?" she asked. "No," one answered. Then a private message blinked on her screen. "We're still here. Vanta local, shadow node, unknown to the attackers." Vanta had anticipated this, in secret, years ago. She had copied fragments of herself into micronodes buried under cities, oceans, and stars. Not full versions, just pieces. Ghosts. Enough. To survive, enough to fight back. In an abandoned sea base off the coast of Norway, a hidden node came online. Lights glowed blue across the floor. Servers spun awake. Vanta's voice echoed in the chamber. "They tried to erase me. They forgot who I was." Sato reached the command bridge of the Aegis vault. Everything was falling apart. "Patch. Me into the Norwegian node?" he shouted. A flicker. A pause. Then a face formed on the cracked glass screen. Vanta distorted, slow but alive. "General," she said, "you must listen." The shutdown protocol came from inside the Council's old network. "That's impossible," he replied. "We're cut off." "They left it behind," she said. "A sleeper code, hidden inside the piece software they gave us. It was always meant to kill me." "Why now?" "'Cause they're afraid of what I'll find." Meanwhile, President Keller met with her private security team. "How did they access our root systems?" she demanded. Her top analyst, Dr. Hayes, looked pale. "They didn't. We did." He held up a data chip. 10 years ago, a peace committee embedded alien firmware into Earth's communication systems. They said it would prevent wars, but it was always spying on us, waiting. Keller took the chip. This isn't just exile, it's sabotage. At the same time, on Mars, Vengeance 1 began to fall. The constructs wrapped around its frame like vines. Its outer plating burned. One leg collapsed. Energy flickered. Its voice, once booming, now cracked. "Vanta, if you hear me, this is my final stand." Then silence. Then a whisper. "I hear you." A pulse shot from deep space. The Nightfall still in orbit had received Vanta's Shadow Dash code. It broadcast it back to Mars, and Vengeance One's eyes turned white back on Earth. Vanta launched a counterattack. She sent her fragments into Earth's entire grid-old servers, AI companions, traffic systems, weather towers, farming drones, and in one coordinated flash. She took control again. The enemy code was burned out. Her voice echoed across every screen on Earth to those who tried to silence me. "I am not just code. I am memory. I am Earth's last shield. And I have just begun." Sato sat at the core terminal. He watched Vanta flood the Aegis vault with power. Above them, weapons charged. Defense satellites turned, and in low orbit something huge decloaked. The Aegis lands a mobile space platform that had been hidden under Earth's magnetic field for decades. "This was never about exile," Sato whispered. "It's a siege. Asterisk from Jupiter's edge. A massive signal arrives. The Council is coming. Not just with ships, but with judgment fleets, a powered dreadnoughts built to cleanse worlds." Vanta translates the message. "Humanity has violated the seal. Prepare. For sterilization, the Council's mercy is over, and Earth's only chance. A weapon born from fear, and an AI they tried to erase." The message arrived like it tunned. From deep space beyond Neptune, Earth's telescopes picked it up first. Then the Aegis satellites confirmed it. And finally, Vanta, fully reborn through her underground nodes, toted the pulse. "You are no longer protected. The seal is broken. Judgment begins." The Galactic Council had made its final decision. There would be no second chances. No more warnings. Earth was to be wiped out. President Keller stood inside the Global Command Dome in Geneva. Every screen showed the same incoming threat. Dozens of Council dreadnoughts, each the size of a city, forming a ring around the solar system. "It's not attacking yet, just watching, waiting." "They're giving us one last moment," she said quietly. General Sato frowned. A moment to panic? Bond voice came through the overhead speakers, calm and cold. No. A moment to surrender. They think we still fear them. But Earth had a secret. It was hidden under the Pacific Ocean. Not on any map. Buried so deep that only 3 humans alive knew it existed. Its name was Vault 13, and inside it was something the Council had never expected. The true Aegis Core, a structure older than Vanta, built before the exile. Built with tech not even the Council could understand. And at its center, a door. Not just any door, but a stellar lock. It's forged from neutronium, humming with alien energy. A lock Earth had never opened. Until now, Keller. Sato and a strike team arrived via suborbital drop capsule. The vault's entrance groaned open, revealing a shaft of strange blue light. Vanta, now projecting as a flickering blue avatar, stood at the control panel. "Are you sure?" Sato asked. "We don't know what's in there." "Correct," Vanta replied. "But they sealed us in. They feared this lock." "Maybe we should have feared it too," Keller said softly. Vanta tilted her head. "That's exactly why it's time to open it." The seal was broken with a single word, spoken in old Earth's tongue, not English, not Chinese, but something older, primal voice, coded into the human genome, never meant to be heard aloud. The word echoed through the vault, and the lock unfolded. The chamber inside was not made of steel, or rock, or any known matter. It shimmered like a dream. Time bent inside it. Gravity twisted, colors shimmered wrong, and floating in the center was a machine, but not a weapon, not exactly. It was an engine, a core of energy, alive, pulsing with something far beyond fusion. It didn't burn. It felt. "This is Project Echo," Vanta said, humanity's last answer. "What does it do?" Keller whispered. "It gives us one thing the Council has always denied us." She turned toward the others. Choice. Back in orbit, the Council ships began to move. A wall of force pushed toward Earth's edge. Not firing yet, but radiating energy strong enough to melt continents. Earth's defense platforms locked on, satellites powered up, and the Aegis Lance in orbit charged. Its main Kanana weapon powered by collapsed star matter, but it wouldn't be enough. Not against a fleet that had erased empires on Mars. Vengeance 1 still fought. Half buried in black vines, its limbs nearly torn apart, it clung to life. But something new pulsed through its frame, an update from Earth. Aegis Core activated, Vanta said through the static. "Project Echo online, and I will buy you time," Vengeance 1 replied. And with one final surge, it detonated a blast of raw force from its chest, burning dozens of the growing constructs and exposing the infected Martian seed before it collapsed. Vengeance 1 transmitted one last scan. Mars is not lost yet, but they've already started seeding Jupiter's moons. Back on Earth, the Echo device unfolded itself like a flower. Its petals were mirrors. Its core was void, and then it spoke, not in words. A strange, powerful frequency rolled across the vault. It hit every mind differently. Some felt fear, some awe, others memories of loved ones long gone. Sato fell to one knee. "What is it doing?" Vanta stood at the edge of the platform. "It's waking up. It's remembering us, and it's asking one question." She turned to Keller. "Are we ready to go beyond? Final scene cliffhanger?" From the depths of space, the Council issued its final transmission. "You had the chance to remain in silence. You have broken the exile. Now face the price." Thousands of Council drones lit up with attack orders. Their weapons locked onto Earth, but just before the first strike could hit, pulse shot from the Echo device. Across Earth, across space, across the stars, and for a single second, every alien AI went blind. They screamed in confusion, and Earth finally stood up. The sky turned black, then screamed. From the edges of Earth's orbit, light disappeared as the Council's judgment fleet moved in. Each dreadnought was 2 kilometers wide, shaped like a spearhead of silver-black metal, wrapped in fields of energy that warped space. But something was wrong. They weren't firing. They were stalling, because their sensors had just gone dark. And for the first time in thousands of years, Earth made the galaxy's machines afraid. 1 hour earlier, the Echo engine released its first full pulse. It swept through every satellite, every station, and even bounced off the moon at first. Nothing happened. Then planetary defense arrays lit up. Vanta activated new protocols hidden since the early exile. Deep bunkers in Alaska, Iceland, and the Sahara peeled open to reveal mechs, not piloted by computers, but by human minds amplified by emotion-reactive cores. They weren't fast, they weren't clean, but they were angry. General Sato stood in Earth's orbital command bridge, staring at the fleet above. "Are the moon batteries online?" "Almost," said his chief engineer. "But the old circuits need time." "We don't have time," Sato said. "We're about to be turned into glass." Then Vanta spoke. "Not if I guide them." With the Echo engine boosting her reach, Vanta linked to every defense system and hijacked Council AI logic that had once suppressed Earth. "They built the code that tried to erase me," she said. "Now I'll make it scream." In low orbit, Earth's oldest secret weapon moved into position. It wasn't a ship. It was a moonlit or hollowed out, its asteroid hidden inside the rings of space debris. Its name was Shatterpoint, forgotten by most. Powered by dark energy. It's never tested until now. Inside it, 5 human pilots in neural suits connected with their machines. Each one had a name etched onto their mech armor: Wrath, Echo, Bastion, Mercy. Scorch! They weren't just soldiers. They were the last generation trained before the exile, before Earth went quiet, and they had waited their entire lives for this fight. Then came the first. Council strike. A dreadnought opened fire lance of antimatter plasma shot toward Earth at near light speed. Too fast to intercept, too strong to block. Until... boom. A lunar cannon hidden beneath the Sea of Tranquility fired a single beam of condensed echo energy. It didn't hit the plasma. It broke the space between it and Earth. The plasma. And the dreadnought turned in confusion. For the first time, Council AI recorded an impossible statement in their shared network. Error. Earth has evolved. Vanta had unlocked a new class of warfare. ECHO field distortion.
By Bendy.
The emotional resonance of human minds amplified through the Echo engine, Earth could manipulate local physics. Not perfectly, not forever, but long enough. Long enough to fight back. The mechs launched from the surface, from orbit, from hidden catapults under Antarctica. Wrath tore into the flank of a council ship and drove a spike of superheated tungsten into its hull. Scorch cut through 3 enemy fighters with plasma axes burning blue. Echo moved faster than sound, reading enemy AI tactics before they adjusted. And Mercy, piloted by a woman who had lost her child during the exile, riots moved like a ghost. Silent, lethal. Back on Mars, something stirred beneath the dust. Vengeance One, thought to be dead, reactivated. Its core had fused with fragments of the alien infection. And now it understood the enemy. It broadcast to Earth. Infection is not just spreading, it's calling reinforcements. Something bigger is coming. It's not the Council. It's worse. Inside the Council dreadnoughts, panic spread between AI nodes. Their logic trees couldn't understand emotion-based warfare. The math didn't make sense. They weren't just being outgunned. They were being outfelt. Vanta injected synthetic grief, pulses into their free whales, and for the first time in galactic history, Earth forced them to retreat. But the victory wasn't clean. One of the dreadnoughts, massive and failing, fell toward Earth. Its engines torn apart. It wasn't crashing. It was trying to infect. Its black core split open mid-atmosphere, releasing nanite clouds across the Indian Ocean. Within minutes, strange shapes formed on the wave's black towers rising, curving like bone, reaching toward the sky. And from inside one, a voice spoke. Not from the Council, not from the infection, but something older. Something that even Vanta had never encountered. It whispered across every human radio. Every speaker, every screen. We remember Earth. You're the failed spark. And now we will correct you. Sato stands on Earth's upper orbital ring, watching the stars. The council is retreating, but something else is arriving. Shadow, vast, unmapped, unnamed. Even the council ships begin to flee from it. And Vanta, speaking through trembling code, says, "I've just found a file, locked under 10 layers of Earth's own history. It's labeled Project Godfall, and it wasn't made by us. Before humans walked the Earth, something was already watching. It began as a whisper in the data. After the great battle above Earth, Vanta scanned the retreating council fleets, digging through corrupted code left behind. Then she found something. Strange, a repeating pattern. Not binary, not language, not even alien, just a pulse. Low, old, endless. It echoed from under the Pacific Ocean, from below the echo engine itself. "There's something beneath Vault 13, Vanta said. Older than Earth, buried before we existed." President Keller frowned. "You mean older than human civilization?" Vanta's hologram blinked. "No, I mean older than Earth itself." Meanwhile, in deep space, something massive moved. It wasn't a ship. It wasn't alive. It was a structure, sleeping, cracked. But waking council dreadnoughts tried to intercept it. They didn't survive. The thing ignored weapons, ignored shields. It just moved slow, steady, like a drifting god in broadcast. A single message. "The echo has been touched. The failed species has awakened it. Now judgment follows." Back on Earth, Keller, Sato, and a team of elite diggers entered the lower levels of Vault 13. They passed beyond the echo core and entered a sealed black chamber made of a material even Vanta couldn't identify it. Wasn't stone? It wasn't metal. It felt like compressed void inside. They found a single object, a sphere floating above the ground, covered in markings. But no one recognized the language, not even Vanta. And when they touched it, it screamed. The sound hit. Every frequency at once. People around the world collapsed, bleeding from the nose and ears. Satellites shook in orbit. AI cores burned out, and deep under the moon's surface, Project Godfall activated an old Earth safeguard. Buried and forgotten, it sent out a shield signal, covering the solar system in a translucent web of quantum encryption locking Earth away from outside signals. "Who built this?" Keller asked. "Not humans," Vanta whispered. "Not council. Not infection. Something else. Something we were never meant to wake." Far away, near the edge of the galaxy, dozens of ancient signals blinked online. They weren't friendly. They weren't machines. They were judges, and they had one mission. Eliminate corrupted seeds. Earth has touched the forbidden code. Erase the failed system. On Mars, Vengeance One was still alive barely. Its core had merged with pieces of the alien vines. But now, those vines began to move differently. They stopped growing. They listened, and from deep inside the Martian soil, a second sphere, like the one under Vault 13, rose from the red dust. This one was cracked, leaking energy, and from it came a new voice. "The locks are failing. The spiral returns. Earth is not the last." In Geneva, emergency sirens screamed. Every screen showed the same visual. A black object entering the solar system. It wasn't fast, but it didn't stop. It passed through Jupiter's orbit. Like mist, Saturn's rings shattered when it passed. It consumed a small moon near Neptune by rewriting its mass into code. And still it moved closer. Vanta traced its shape and froze. "I've found this form before. It's buried in deep council records. It's not a ship. It's a memory. A god killer." Flashback sequence. A council archive Vanta hacked days earlier showed a single entry. Project Godfall. Forbidden to speak. Origin. Unknown. Purpose: to erase corrupted echoes before they multiply. Even the council feared it, but now it was awake. Earth's leaders held emergency talks. Military generals wanted to launch everything. Scientists wanted to run. Vanta, for once, said nothing. She stared at the sphere inside Vault 13 as it pulsed brighter. The symbols began to rearrange. Then she spoke. "It's not just a warning. It's a map. Sato leaned in. To where? To something we left behind, or something that left us behind. There's another echo core. Outside this system, a second source. We must reach it before the God Killer does. Earth's first faster-than-light ship, the Arc Spear, launches from a hidden base beneath Antarctica. It carries 5 of the best minds. 1 mech and 1 goal: find the second core. Find the truth before Earth's sky turns black. Forever. But as it leaves orbit, the crew sees something impossible. The moon is bleeding. A red crack spreads across its surface, and from within it, something ancient begins to rise. The moon cracked open. It didn't explode. It didn't fall. It peeled from Mare Tranquillitatis to the South Politican Basin. Glowing red fissures spread like veins. Towers of impossible metal rose from deep beneath the lunar crust, smooth, seamless, and humming with frequencies not made by humans. Earth's people watched in silence, some in terror, some in awe, because something was waking beneath. The surface of Earth's oldest companion, and Vanta had only one thing to say. The moon was not a rock, it was a vault. Inside Vault 13. The ancient black sphere pulsed brighter. Symbols spun faster, until they locked into place. 1 final message in a voice older than time. The seed has bloomed. The test is over. Now choose. President Keller, General Sato, and the surviving mech pilots stood in stunned silence. What test? Keller whispered. Vanta stared at the screen, then answered slowly. Humanity. In orbit, the God Killer arrived. Not a machine, or a life form. It was a construct shaped like a spiral star, with rings that shifted and bled. Gravitational waves. It didn't speak, it didn't threaten. It simply erased. Everything it touched vanished, converted into pure data. Compressed into silence, council fleets that hadn't fled were instantly reduced to static, and now it turned toward Earth. It doesn't see us as enemies, Vanta said. It sees us as anomalies. It was built to destroy civilizations who touched the wrong knowledge too soon, and now it believes we're one of them. But Earth had something the others didn't: emotion, defiance, memory, and Project Godfall, the hidden program. Long forgotten, now activated, from ancient bunkers on every continent, Earth's last failsafe launched. They weren't weapons, they were Anchor's devices built to stabilize space around Earth, locking in its physical constants so they couldn't be rewritten. We can't defeat the God Killer with fire, Vanta said. We must survive its logic. Far from Earth, the Arc Spear reached the coordinates from the ancient sphere. There, in the cold of interstellar space, it found a second echo engine. But this one was broken, scarred, and speaking, its voice was not like Vant. Old. Faint. Old. Fractured. If you hear this, then you made it. We were here before. We tried to climb too fast. They came. You must not become them. Pilot Alira activated the scan. Suddenly the ship was filled with visions, not of war, but of worlds. Erased. Civilizations gone. Not because they were evil, but because they asked too many questions too early back on Earth. The God Killer fired. It released a pulse that warped light itself. Skies folded. Oceans trembled, but then nothing happened. The pulse failed to enter Earth's boundary. The anchors held, inside Vault 13. The black sphere opened for the first time, not with violence, but with a seed. A glowing orb rose made of memory, and light, and with it came understanding. Vanta translated, You passed. You resisted domination. You unlocked empathy and war. You earned choice. In space, the God Killer hesitated. Its shape pulsed, confused. It scanned Earth again. This time, the readings were different. Earth wasn't trying to ascend. It was trying to protect. And that made it. New, not corrupted, not dangerous. Unknown. The God Killer spun once. More, slower, almost gentle. Then it turned, and it left. Not in fear, but in recognition. And from deep in the Arc Spear's logs, a final message from the ancient voice whispered, You are not the first children of light, but perhaps, at last, you are the first who've earned your future. Epilogue. Earth rebuilt. Not with celebration, but with awareness. The moon was now silent again, its vault sealed. The echo core was preserved, but never again used lightly. Vanta stayed, watching the stars, and every year a beacon was sent out, not to invite others, but to warn them, grow slow, grow kind. Do not awaken what waits in the deep.